All right. Hello, everybody. We've been a few weeks to get back to the Coach Tyler Vann show. Coach Vann had a lot to deal with over the last few weeks. I'm sure everybody knows about that. Coach Vann and his beautiful wife, Hannah, was blessed with a new addition to the family. How's that going, Coach? Everything good there?
Oh yeah, it's going good. Mom's doing good. Son's doing good. Just he's a baby. He likes to cry, but other than that, we're doing good. He's doing way better. He spent a few nights in NICU, and but we're very blessed. It's been a long time coming, and a lot of prayers answered. And, so we're happy to be where we're at.
When do we start working on that 2037 playbook? I mean, we're going to wait till he's in kindergarten.
Oh yeah, we'll wait a little bit, see where he's going to play.
Okay.
He might be a guard.
Hey, Daddy was an okay athlete there at North Sand Mountain, pretty good athlete. Mama might have been the better athlete when it comes down to it. So he's got a chance with those two genetic paths.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Got some things we want to cover. Howie may join us in a little bit. He had a band concert for his little girl. But, Coach, I want to talk about something. Me, as someone been around high school football for 30 years, I don't fully understand. And I'd like for you just to explain it as a coach would. Last year, you had a semifinal team. You had 4 seniors that were a huge part of that. And we talk every time you're on here about got to get better, got to get better. What does looking better in the offseason look like to you as a head coach?
We talk a lot. We have our maxes and stuff on the board, and it's important for us to see that number go up. Whether we put plus minus so they can visually see it for 7 weeks when we're on the cycle, where they're headed. But the biggest number we look at is a green number, and our green numbers are our weight. So number one thing in the off season we want to do is put on weight, put on good weight. And if it's a guy that needs to cut weight and then put good weight back on, then that's a go as well. But in the off season, we're really focusing on weight because we have a lot of guys and we want them to be playing 3 sports. So it's not like we're doing skill development for our entire off season with all of our guys. They're out doing other things, which is good, but we also need to see that green number go up. And we've had a lot of guys that's bought into that, and that weight's going up, and we're excited about seeing that. But it's also continuing to fine tune little things with what we do in the weight room and what we do with how we warm up. But again, like we talk all the time, how you leave things, even in your locker room, your locker, whatever it is, how you look when you warm up, how you handle yourself. And our guys are starting to do a better job. They do a really good job with little things and how they leave things, but we got to do a better job with taking every little thing serious, every stretch, every warm up, whatever it is. You treat it as a time to get better. Don't let me half telling a duck walk for 10 yards cost me on the field, because all that translates. Yeah. If you're not willing to do little things right, you're not going to be willing to do the big things right. So, but our guys are doing a better job, and I'm really excited about the path that we're headed. We have a lot of young guys that I hope are going to be playing some big roles this fall, because it's like I told them today, I think we have 52 guys right now, 9 through 12, and I hope we keep all 52. Chances are through the summer we'll lose a few, but maybe not. But if you're a young guy, you're a 9th grader just coming up, and you're a good athlete, and we want you on the field. Like, find you a spot on the field, win you a spot, and we need help on special teams. I'll tell you this, 51, he sounds like he's dying every day. He plays all 3 phases of the game, but he sounds like he's dying until we get to special teams, and we have to find him a break. But we need guys fresh that can give us rest and go full speed on special teams. And a guy like Landon Pritchett last year, who was full speed all the time on special teams, has worked his way into having a chance to be a starter on defense. So, little things like that, and just getting better and seeing our weight go up. We obviously want to see our maxes go up, but that weight's going up, and it's good weight most of the time. Your maxes are heading in the right direction as well.
Coach, it brings up a good question. Talking about 51, played a ton of snaps. Me as a layman, I look, and we had 2 running backs last year that you were able, and I think that was a huge secret that nobody knew, is that the ability to split 22 and 2 around. Your natural instinct is to put size on 22. He's a sophomore, a big kid. But do you necessarily want to put size on a running back, or do you want to? I mean, at times he looks like he's 21 years old. So how do you balance that?
Two was a sophomore. Yeah. He's put on some weight. I think he can finally hit that 191 mark, but he's not going to lose. We've still been dealing with the same injury we dealt with from football, actually, that it kind of lingered through basketball. I ended up having to sit out the second half of basketball, and now we're just now getting to where we're working back into a squat. We've had some issues with his groin and other things there. He's actually had a stress fracture, so we're finally getting back to where he's squatting and stuff. But he's been putting on good weight. He's continued to work his upper body, and now that we're able to squat, and he's been therapy doing lower body stuff, he's actually able to squat with us more now and work out legs. He's starting to put on. His legs are normally massive, and I get on to him all the time about him being small, but it's not his fault. But he's putting that good weight back on, and I'm excited about too. If you go back and look at the start of the year last year, he was running the football probably better than anybody on the team the first 4 games before 22 started kicking in gear and got his weight back from being sick and stuff. But two, after he got hurt, it kind of struggled a little bit, but he was still good running back, good football player, and I'm excited to get him back healthy and see what he's going to do for us this year.
Is someone like Roman coming off a serious injury, is that more focus on him to manage that process with his therapist and after surgery than it normally would be? Because I would think you had to spend almost reel him in at time, a kid like Roman who wants to get in the weight room and work out.
Yeah, he actually got fully cleared like 3 weeks or a month and a half ago, actually, I think. So he's no restrictions right now, so he's full go for us. And we went through the phase of therapy and working him back in slowly, and finally got back to where we was 100% everywhere. So he's full go right now. So I don't have to really mean none. But for a while it was tough because he was anxious and he's ready to roll. He's ready to coach. I feel good, but at the same time you got to keep him from doing too much because you don't want to have a setback with an injury like that and with a recovery. So but he's done a really good job, and I'm excited to have him back as well. You know, we played a lot with a lot of guys out last year and a lot of guys banged up. So we're excited to get them guys back.
Well, Coach, you brought up my next question because we went through the year with you last year, which I cannot tell you how many people have mentioned just going that week-to-week podcast and being able to keep up with it. That was insightful to them. But the other day I got to ask about, do you remember week 9 and 10 when Coach was talking about pulling skill positions to the offensive line? And I was like, yeah. And the question I got to ask was by one of our listeners. Will you go into the year? Will you in 2023? Will you have better depth of the offensive line? Hopefully, we don't face the injuries. But do you have can you go 6, 8 deep? What are you looking at?
Yeah, our big guy group's really big right now. We have a lot of guys down there and a lot of guys buying to find positions right now. I think we can play a lot of guys one way. Hopefully, if we want to be really good on both sides of the football, and we want to also limit the amount of guys that play, both ways, because we want to be fresh on both sides of football. But that doesn't mean like they get inside the 20 or if we say, hey, they get inside the 30, we're going to run it a certain guy back out there. But we want to stay fresh, and we've got guys I think we can count on to play a lot of reps for us. We've got quality depth this year and guys who've been through a fire a little bit from last year having to get thrown into it. And I think they're ready to go this year. They look really good, and a little bit of skill work we've done, so far. So I'm excited about that group. And, just talking to them and meeting with them, they're so far ahead of where we were 2 years ago, my first year, and we should be, but we're so far ahead. We know the plays, we know our blocking schemes, we're understanding more about what we're trying to accomplish, which is exciting and the way it should be in year 3. So I'm really excited about that group, especially. That should be one of the best groups on the field, and that's saying something because I think we really do have a really good group of skill guys that show up and do things the right way and is locked in. And to say that I think there's a group out there that's better than them is a pretty big deal. And I think that OLDO group can be special this year, and I'm really excited about it.
Coach, before we go over to kind of some position battles, I wanted to ask you a question. In watching the film from 2 years ago, I feel like we saw your offense, and it's still your offense, but we saw it more an aerial attack more because that's what it personnel fitted. Last year, I feel like we saw a switch, especially after 22 got healthy. So this offense became more of a running game, which at heart, I still think this offense is a run-first offense, no matter how much we throw it. But this offense that we run, how flexible is it to get the playmaker that you want involved?
Yeah, I think that's sorry, I got a phone call cut off. You still got me?
Yeah, I still got you, Coach.
No, I think that's probably my favorite part about the offense we run. We're very flexible as far as what we can be in and the personnel groupings and that we can jump into. Like we have the personnel to be in 11, 10, 12, whatever we want to be in. And we have the personnel right now to do it, which makes it really tough on the defense to game plan against. But, this year I'm hoping to be a little bit more 10 personnel we've been because our skill guys are really good, but we also have 2 tight ends that I trust, and it's nice to have my favorite player is a tight end. So I like moving a tight end around. And last year we had to use the H a little bit more to move around. We put Leo Kirby there. He wasn't a true tight end, but he's more of an H back that I put it wide and move him around in the backfield and get some blocking in. But we were 12 personnel a lot last year, and I thought that fit us more with the running backs we had and how we was sustained a lot of injuries earlier in the year that kind of hurt us skill-wise. And we were really young skill-wise with guys we had to count on. So I thought it helped us a lot by moving to 11, 12 personnel and formation that way. And how our offense, how we formation stuff, though, is very easy to jump into different personnel groupings and guys know where they're supposed to be. And because it's important if we want to get Zach Anderson the football that we can put him any spot we want to put him, inside, outside, in the backfield. It really doesn't matter, and that's something we don't have to do a lot with 5 because having him back, there's going to be people key on him, and it doesn't matter if they key on him or not. We're still going to get him the football because that's what you got to do that with your playmakers. And we have multiple playmakers that we don't have to get the football, so it's really fun to have the opportunity to put multiple guys in multiple spots and find a way to get them the football because we have a lot that we need to get the football to and let them make plays. So it's a lot for a defense to defend this year, and we're working a lot on changing tempos and things of that nature. We may be slower than we've ever been this year, so we may not snap it till it gets to 2 every time. I don't know, but we're working some tempo stuff and slowing it way down.
And that throws the defensive off. I mean, you're used to you going with 15 seconds on the clock, and all of a sudden you're going to let them sit there for 10 seconds.
Yeah,
that can wear on the legs a little bit.
It is. We're trying to work tempo stuff. We're trying to snap it quicker a lot and also be able to slow it down when we need to slow it down and be in normal tempo and really put an emphasis on with our offense on tempo because if we're able to play a lot of guys one way, we'll have 1 or 2 guys, 3 or 4 maybe that have to play both ways. But if we're able to stay fresh, we can really get a defense on their heels, especially guys that are playing both ways and keep the pedal down and keep it rolling.
And Coach, I know you got some battles going on, and we'll talk about those next. But you just made a point that I love. 3A football, I call 3A footballs in Tennessee. I've called 2A football. I've called 1A football on the radio. There is something about being able to limit snaps on your 13, 18, 23, whatever you have. Do you go into the year with kind of a plan like, hey, 51, we're still going to play him both ways, but I'm going to try to get him a rest in the first and third, or do you have one of the coaches that kind of manages that on game day for you?
We meet about it. We talk about where we want guys, and a lot of times we try to get them. If it's a guy like 51 that plays both ways, be honest with you, he has to ask out for him to get a break on offense or defense. But special teams, though, we do try to find them opportunity to get a break here and there. And hopefully this year, like I said, with as many guys as we have, as many athletes I feel like we have that we can count on, I don't expect a lot of guys to have to play on all 3 phases of the game unless we need a stop here or there's a big kickoff and there's somebody we can't trust. But I don't foresee that happening. But anytime you can put 51 and 5 on kickoff in a big situation, I promise you I'm going to do it because those are 2 of are better football players on defensive side of the ball. Sure, tacklers, seniors, you got to trust them. But we're going to do our best to trust our young guys and give them an opportunity to get on the field. Special teams is very important, and to have young guys fresh is a big deal. And we just need to work on them and get better. And I think they're going to have an opportunity to play, and I'm excited about that. But to answer your questions, yeah, we do plan it out. There are certain guys that we need to get a break. And hopefully this year, though, that it works out where we have a lot of guys playing one way and we can sustain, not sustain many injuries. I think we're going to be able to continue to do that throughout the year, and that number of two-way players don't go up that much.
Well, Coach, last year going into the season, we talked almost bi-weekly or monthly about the quarterback position. This year you have a returning quarterback that played a year in your offense. But where is the opportunities on either side of football that somebody could come in right now and press for playing time?
I think we open, and it's like I tell them, every position's open, but in the back of their minds, like, yeah, whatever, 51's playing right guard, his position really open. But if somebody stepped in and was better, I promise you that they'd play. So we do have a lot, any position can be won, and I do think we have some true battles going on at positions. And our quarterback position, 9's doing a really good job. 3's throwing it well. But you can tell already early that 9's, mentally he's been there and he's done it and he knows the plays. And 3's got a long ways to go to catch up to that. But it's going to be a good battle all summer at the quarterback spot. It's going to be a good battle at some receiving spots. And it's going to be hard to make decisions. But normally those decisions are not made by me. They're made by the players on the field. And that's what I love about football. Competition makes everybody better. And I promise you 3 will make 9 better, 9 will make 3 better. And they're going to decide who plays in the room by what they do on the field from this point till September when we play. And that's what's exciting to me about it all. And 9 obviously is going to have the upper hand being taking the team to the semis, but that doesn't mean the spot's not up for grabs, because I can promise you I'm going to put the best player on the field at every spot on the field to give us the best chance to win a football game. And I'm really excited about that, because we have guys like at receiver that's really stepped up that I'm excited about, like Clayton Brown, a young kid's been doing really good in the slot for us, doing some skill stuff and watching them out there running routes. Just watching from afar and watching our guys go out there and work on their own and throw routes and run routes. And, it's exciting to me to see our young guys that's, been going through scout team and had a good off season and see how much they progressed. And so I'm excited about what we're going to have on defensive side. You got Landon Pritchett, like I told you earlier, at corner. He hadn't played corner in a varsity game yet, I don't think, unless we was winning. Dudes right now is going to get starting reps. He's come a long ways. He's worked his tail off, and I'm excited about that young guy, J.R. Dixon, who's swapped time a lot at corners, looked really good so far. And everybody I asked about Willingham, they've gotten better, but he's mentioned some names that's done really good so far, and so there's competition everywhere on this team because of the young guys we have that are coming up that are wanting to play now, and so every spot's open to answer your question. And like I said, some of them that roll their eyes up front, that I'm right guard, maybe not, unless somebody really gets better, but could happen. But 51's really good, 5's really good, so there are spots open.
3 was called on last year in his backup role a couple of times, and in his kick hole, he may have made the play of the year by getting that snap down on the extra point. I think it was game 9, clinched playoff spot. So when 3 was on the field last year, he performed.
Yeah, 3 did a really good job. Gerald in game 9 had been dealing with a knee injury. And he was able to come in and say, lead us down the field one time, made a few throws, and got us in the end zone against Geraldine, who we played in the quarters. So 3's been in some spots and made some throws. So they're both prepared, both played some games. So I'm excited. So they both worked their tail off. I mean, they're up there on Sundays throwing. They're up there through the week. They stay after. So I'm excited.
Coach, we've talked many times too about some schools really want to have that spring football. I think you wisely kind of hold that off and use that in the fall and get your week 0 in. Is that a coach to coach decision? Because I know some want to get out and hit for 10 days and in March, but it's never made a lot of sense to me. But some coaches still like that traditional spring look.
Yeah, I think, and it is definitely opinionated, and guys, I could see the guys who do it. Like if you're coming into a new job and you really don't know the positions that your guys are going to be playing in high school football, and you want to do a spring, I fully get it. And some guys love spring and want to do it every year, and so I understand that as well. But for me, we have so many guys that play 3 sports, so they're going all year round. And by the time baseball ends, and we always hope they make a run, but by the time baseball ends, it's going right back into spring football. And our guys are wore out, and I want to give them a break somewhat. We do some skill development stuff, and no practice or nothing like that. So get them right back going in the summer, get that extra week in the fall, and able to play a pre-week 0 jamboree, which we love because we get that week 0 off and get to fix some things. So I do understand that. Then if you think from a college standpoint, you got football guys all year round. Spring needs to be there because if not, you're doing off season, workouts with nothing, no practice or nothing for however many months. That'd be terrible. I understand spring in college, but from a high school standpoint, I think it's different, especially for a smaller school. As you get up 6A, 7A, I'd be all for doing spring every year because you're not going to have that many guys that play 3 sports. But you get down smaller school ball, I just feel like it's good to give my guys a break from sports and stuff. We still do stuff, but it ain't out there killing each other and going to play a spring game. But again, it's very opinionated. I have my opinion on it. That's why I make the decision I make, and I don't think there's a right and wrong one. I think it's just do what you think you need to do.
Well, Coach, speaking of spring, what would Coach Clark tell us about his assistant coach this year in softball? Y'all had a little run in softball this year. That was kind of a fun little journey Coach Clark and the girls softball team had.
Yeah, I think his assistant coach got coach of the year, assistant coach of the year or something. I turned it down, but no, I'm just kidding. I wasn't that much help, to be honest with you. I was there as much as I could be, and I helped him as much as I could, but Coach Clark did a really good job. And the girls played really hard yesterday, had a chance to play. We was going to have a chance, win extra innings, made the Sweet 16, so to speak, in softball, and had the opportunity to win there to make it, to play Piedmont to go to state today or last night. And came up a little short, but the girls played really hard. I think come back from 12-7 deficit in the last inning, scored 5 to tie it at the end. I think Alexa hit a 3-run double, cleared the bases with a double to tie it with 2 outs and 2 strikes. So it was a pretty big deal there. But girls played really hard. Coach Clark did a really good job this year, and girls won a lot of softball games, and that program's got a bright future.
Yeah, Coach Clark is, of course, he takes care of the other side of the football during football season. Coach Clark, we're lucky to have Coach Clark at Sylvania for his softball and his football abilities. But let's move to that side of the football for just a minute, in the defensive side. I thought at times last year the defense played above and beyond the call, and at times they struggled, frankly. And how do you and Coach Clark attack more consistency in defense? Is it game plan, or is it personnel, or is it just being in shape? Being able to go 4 quarters, because in your district you see every type of offense at some point.
Yeah, right, and we do. It's you go from spread to wing tee to triple option.
Yeah.
And shotgun wing tee, but to triple option, and see a lot of different offenses. But I think game plan wise, we're always gonna try to get better game plan. We're always gonna try to find ways to be better at our jobs. But a lot of it also had to do with we lost our best defensive player week 2.
Y'all were injured.
Or you could argue that he is our best defensive player. Him at 51, like you could argue 5 was the best defensive player we had at the moment because he'd been there. He's all over the field. He's making plays for us, and to lose him and have to go the rest of the year that was kind of the guy that our defense looks to, all of our skill guys and stuff. Fives was the guy, and we had to replace him. And, that took a few weeks because we had to shuffle some DBs around. We had young DBs playing spots, even though they were juniors and one senior that just hadn't played it that much. So it was tough. It was tough on the back end. I thought our front seven played really good, but you got to think, too, we had 15. We put a freshman in that played inside backer all year as well. So we played some young guys on the field because of injuries, and injuries hurt our defense a little bit more than it hurt our offense because I thought offensively we stayed pretty healthy on the O-line. Running back wise, we stayed healthy, and we were able to continue to run the football. But defensively, it's tough when you have a few injuries. Had to shuffle some guys around that maybe, hey, if you was playing strong safety or maybe the outside backer, and then we have to shuffle another strong safety in. Well, they're learning some different things, and makes it tough, especially for young guys. So we had a lot of shuffling going on from inside backer, a lot of shuffling going on. D-tackle some. We lost Drennan Townsville early in the year. That dude was just coming on and playing really good football, and he goes out with an ankle injury. So Kosh ankles, D-tackle. I mean, we had a lot of injuries on that really affected defense more than I think it affected us on offense. I thought we was able to weather the storm a little bit on offense. But so I think you're going to see the defense be a lot better because of the amount of people that we got reps. The young guys like Travis Owens and all of them got reps last year, Drennan Townsville. So I'm excited about the defense. I don't think we better not, or we've struggled. Something's wrong. If we struggle at times like we did last year with on the back end, we struggle covering people, and I think that's a point of emphasis this whole off season, this whole summer. I've scheduled more 7-on-7s than I've ever scheduled as a head coach. It's things that we need to work on the back end. So I'm hoping that this summer we continue to get better and we fix those things going into the fall. And you see that on Friday nights because that's something that hurt us. I think the front seven wise, we have one of the best front sevens in 3A in North Alabama. I'd put them up against anybody with the way they work and the way they carry themselves. But, if on the back end we can match that, we got a chance to be really special on defense. So I don't mean we are. That don't mean we'll be good in the front seven if we don't continue to work. But I think we have the opportunity to do it. So.
Coach, you almost rattled my memory when we were talking about struggles on defense. I was thinking about after 5 got hurt, it was almost a domino effect that you were moving 3 and 4 people around at times. One kid getting hurt, you explained it well, can affect multiple positions, especially someone like a 51 that plays both ways. You might end up having to move 4 or 5 kids around to get that position covered.
Yeah, it's really tough. And then, I alluded to this a lot. I talked to a lot of people. You talking about coaching. I was the head football coach at Woodville. It's really tough on smaller schools. You take a guy that gets hurt in 1A football, when I was at Woodville, it would affect 3 positions, all 3 phases of the game. And then you're moving somebody else out of that 11 most of the time to fill that role and filling in that other spot that you think is more. I don't know how to explain it to you, but without it sounding terrible, but just, trying to eliminate I don't know how to put it without sounding, I don't want it to be like I'm bashing the spot, but just trying to put guys in the best position possible.
Right.
So like if you're moving a guy from corner, like you say, hey, that'll hurt me less at corner if I put a guy there. So I'm going to move that corner to strong safety. So now you eliminate that dude's got to learn corner. The corner now has to learn strong safety. But that's not only that, you have to move them around on offense and special teams. So it gets tough, and we deal with that at 3A. I think this year will be the best we've been as far as depth and being able not to move that many guys based off one injury. Now, if you have 2 or 3, that's a different story. But one injury, as long as it's not to the right guy, and that's what we said last year. If we can keep 5 from getting hurt, we ain't got to move that many guys, and I'd be danged if 5 didn't get hurt week 2. It's probably because we talked about it. It's always that one guy, though, that'll cause a domino effect, and that guy, because when it happens, you have to be prepared in a game on Friday to move the next best guy into that spot, whether that next best guy's already playing inside back or wherever he's at, you got to put him there. And then it starts that domino effect. So it stinks But you always have them few guys who got picked out that'll start that domino effect, and you hope they don't get hurt. But it happened to us last year, and sometimes that guy that went to that position got hurt too. So you go to your third choice, and then you have to move around more. But that's part of coaching. It's part of I enjoy that part of it, and unless they're out for the year, like number 5. But it's a part of coaching that you have to have a plan for every Friday night to put that next guy, best guy in, and get him reps somehow through the week to be prepared to do that, which is tough because you want to keep them out there for 3.5 hours. So it's tough. That part's tough in 3A football. So
you talked about a perfect example last year in Leo playing tight end. I doubt it was your plan going into the year to have Leo at tight end, but it was what had to happen for you to put your best 11 on the field at times.
Yeah, and just dealing with, Drennan come along at tight end last year, early in the year, when we started going 12 personnel and started playing 2 tight ends. And, he went, first time we went 12 personnel against Pisgah, we busted one out for about 65. He got hurt on that play, so we wasn't able to go. We were at 12 personnel all week now. And after that, we had to go 11 personnel the rest of the night. And that happened early in the first quarter, and we had to go 11 personnel the rest of the night. And I didn't rep 11 personnel, not near enough that week as far as play calling and what plays would be in at 11 a lot. So that was on me. We was able to find a way to still win the football game, but we was not prepared on offense like we should have been. I learned a lot that night about, preparing for more than just because we didn't have another guy to go in. So, but because Leo was out that week, he was our other tight end. Leo was already hurt. He didn't play. And then having Drennan go out. Then I was out of tight end, so I wasn't expecting that to happen. And I should have, the way our year was going injury-wise, I should have already had it planned out. But we're still able to find a way to win. But, yeah, it's tough.
I told someone the other night, I said, I'm looking forward to Coach Vann's show this year. I said, I just hope we don't have as many injuries because at one point we got cut off the players because every time somebody come on the show, they got hurt the next week. So this year we need to keep everyone healthy. Coach, let's jump to the kicking game. We've got a kicker back that was very successful last year. What's happening on the kicking game? Is there anything as far as the kickers going that you're repping this spring that's new or exciting or folks would enjoy hearing about?
Nah, Drennan's finally back punting a little bit and working punting out there on the practice field. I see him out there some, and he coming off his injury. And actually, Connor and JD, our kicker, he plays soccer. He's broke his foot, and then he re-injured his foot once he got healthy again. So he just come out of his boot Monday, actually, of this week, a couple of days ago. So ready to see him back kicking. I'm hoping he's going to be kicking it inside the 10 every time, hopefully inside the 5 every time. It'd be nice. I wouldn't be upset if he could kick it through the end zone, but hopefully he gained a little bit of strength over the offseason. But he's done a really good job for us, and I'm excited to see what he does this year. I think we're going to be in field goal range, hopefully when we get inside the 30. That's always nice when in high school if you can get inside the 30, 25-yard line and feel comfortable about kicking a field goal. So kickers are doing a good job.
Coach, we'll go about 10 more minutes. We'll call it a night. Of course, everybody can join us. We'll try to stay about once a month until about August, and then we'll get on our once a week. It was definitely a journey last year, Coach, going through every week with us. But I do want to – last year I talked a lot about your role as a head coach as being the coach of coaches. So will you take some time over this summer? And I know you do kind of a retreat with your coaches. Will you have a like week where you and the coaches just come together and talk about what you want to get accomplished in 23?
Yeah, we actually haven't done that yet. Clark been coaching softball. Not been happening, but we haven't been able to get together yet. But we normally talk throughout the summer. Talking about coaching coaches, I probably need to do a better job of that as well. But get caught up sometimes in getting things done and getting practice plans made without actually meeting with coaches like I should. It's something I'm going to try to be better at this year, especially on Sundays, something that I've already tried working on and started planning on being better on Sundays. Always trying to find a way for me to be better. as a head football coach, and that's one way I've got to get a lot better, and that's coaching coaches on Sunday, getting them prepared the right way, and that's something I hope we take a huge step forward from my standpoint this year is having every coach on my staff prepared for the week after leaving on Sunday night. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about coaches. We always have a cookout right before fall camp starts, and kind of just hang out and really our last family get together until football season's over, because it's full go after that. Once fall camp hits, we don't see our families near as much. So it's our last chance. We just hang out kind of as a big family with coaches and families. So, but this summer's a little bit different. We got some things planned that we hadn't had planned in the past as far as 7-on-7s and travel. So I think our football players are going to enjoy this summer as well.
Joining us from the luxury mobile, is that a Cadillac?
No, I don't make coaches money, so it's not a Cadillac. It's more like a Pinto.
Coming from his daughter's choir or band concert, Howie, welcome aboard. You got anything? Got about 10 more minutes with Coach. You got anything you want to ask?
It's kind of hard jumping on here at the last second because I don't really know what you've already asked and everything. So,
I know they've got a bass tournament coming up, and we ain't talked about that.
Right, absolutely. Go ahead and talk about that, Coach. The bass tournament, I think you had a ringer in it last year. You and your partner, I think it was Ryan Haney, was the ringers and all that. Do you have the same partner this year?
Same partner, Ryan Haney. Yep. June 17th, daylight Goose Pond. So I think it's $100, and then you get $20 big. You can throw into the pot for big fish. But we're excited about it. We always, it's a good fundraiser for us. It goes right back into the kids, and so we need as many boats as we can get. So if y'all know anybody who wants to fish it, be sure to get it out. And we need them signed up. The quicker you get signed up, the best boat number you can get. And I was the first one to sign up, so
that's an advantage. That's an advantage.
I don't think so because Haney could be the 40th boat. We'd probably still pass one. So.
Go ahead.
Hey, speaking of fundraisers, I got a letter through the school from the football team the other day wanting me to sponsor, which, I'm more than happy to. But I have no idea who sent it to me. Did you tell those fellas to put their names on it or anything?
Yes. It was probably Griffin Turner or Jackson Smith or Jake Turner or Eli Trotman. Somebody in the quarterback group probably didn't put their name on it.
You are their coach.
Yeah, it's probably one of them. Nah, they should have put their name on it. If not, you just.
It said please support, which I'm going to support. You know that, but I just don't know which player I need to support.
If I was you, I'd probably pick Landon Pritchard.
That's a good one.
There we go.
Coach, as we wind up, we've got Howie online. Again, we want to extend the offer to anybody that will come in and sponsor this program by giving money to the quarterback club. We had some great sponsors come in last year. Coach, they can contact you directly, or do you have a quarterback club representative we want them to go to?
It doesn't matter. They can contact me. They can contact Josh Turner, our quarterback club president. Either one.
Coach, what do you think the odds of getting Josh Turner on here is?
I don't know. Probably as high as you want them.
It'd be good to bring him on sometime, talk about some of the fundraisers you're going to be doing later on this summer, especially the one that me and Randy loves is the Wing Fest.
Right, yeah. We've got that date set. If I told you right now off the top of my head, I may get it wrong, but we do have that date set, and there should be a poster and stuff going out on Facebook here shortly about Wing Fest. So it is a big fundraiser for us. I know the community loves it, and so we're excited about that as well. It's a good money maker for us, and we need it. Our kids need it.
I know I've been looking in the mirror. In the screen here, Coach. I get fatter every year, and I'm gonna blame part of that on Wing Fest, but not nothing else. Coach, as we kind of wrap up and get you home to your family, I do want to ask you one more football question, and again, last year you had it. This year you had it again. that schedule, when I look at it, you don't have no gimmies in there. This is the last year of this schedule, correct? And then you'll reset next year.
That's correct.
Do you like the way it fell out this year? Again, playing 5 late in the year and opening up. And of course, Coach Smith's moved, but he didn't move out of your district, so it ain't no easier this year than it was last.
Nah, Coach Smith just looked at the schedules like, where do I need to go to get Sylvania at home again for the 19th time in a row? And what locker room did I need to put them in with a heat on at 150? That's what he looked at. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's a tough schedule against a bunch of really good football coaches and really good football teams. It lines up. I don't think you can line up the schedule to make it favorable at all in any way or form. I think it's anytime you have to play the number of quality teams that we have to play, you don't get them any way you get them. So it's going to be tough. So, but I think, if you look at our non-region schedule and you compare them to other people's non-region schedule, I think our non-region schedule is just as tougher than anybody else's in the North. With Sachs, Pisgah. Pisgah's probably picked to go back to the semis, if not further, and they're right up the road. And then you have 5 Red Devils, who's picked to go to the semis and probably play Pisgah again and probably the final. So it's, we played, that's 2 semi teams right there. We played Piedmont twice, and we played 4 teams. Or played 4 games with opponents that played in the semifinals last year. So our schedule's tough. It's going to continue to be tough, and I think it made us better. I think it prepared us for Madison Academy, which is one of our biggest wins that kept us going in the playoffs. So our schedule prepares us for the playoffs. So I like it just like it is.
Coach, do you buy any of the statements that are made about that Sand Mountain football is truly different? And you just said it, in probably a 10-mile radius, maybe 15 miles, you have so much success. There is something different about football on that mountain.
Yes, especially when you get into DeKalb County. You go up 75, there's a lot of good football. And I think I think the physicality is the biggest difference,
Yes, sir.
1 through 11. Most teams up here is going to hit you in the mouth, and we have to play against it all the time. And you can say we're spread. Well, no, we're not. We are, but we run the football. We're physical, and we'll hit you on defense. We need to do a better job wrapping up, but we'll hit you. So, I think the physicality is the biggest difference, and I think it shows with the amount of teams that we send through the playoffs and teams that make runs. Now, football's good other places. I'm not saying that. I just think physicality sets Sand Mountain football apart from others.
All right, Howie Chaney. One last question. We'll let Coach run to his beautiful wife and his new son. I'll let you wrap it up for the night, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sitting here, you talking about how good the football is around DeKalb and Jackson County and everything, and I'm thinking in the terms of DeKalb and Jackson County football, it's the same as SEC football. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's tough. Everybody around has good football teams, and it doesn't matter the athlete you have. It's they're going to hit you. So if you're athletic on the mountain too, you had that too. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. You get on the mountain and you see a guy that runs a 4.7. It looks like a 4.3 to everybody around here. Like we have a false sense of a 40 time. I started timing people at Sylvania, and I think Coach Wilson and I, we were out there timing people, and we'd tell them they're getting a 4.8. Ain't no way I ran a 4.4 last year. No, you didn't. You tell me you lost 0.4 off your 40 in a year. Something went wrong in your strength and conditioning program over the last 4 months, and it wasn't us. Anyways, we have a false sense of a 40 time on the mountain. But you'll have a few that come through, and a good bit that run that 4.4, especially in 5 Alabama. If Coach Menafield clocked, she had a 4.4. You ran a 4.4. So, and I think he's clocked a few while he's been there. But if you add athletes and speed along with the physicality that you have, you're going to win a lot of football games. And I think that's something we may have this year at Sylvania, and I'm excited about it. We don't have a 4.4 guy, so I'm going to go tell people that we have a 4.4 guy. We don't have that. But I think overall team speed, we should be all right.
Well, as a member of the SEC that's no longer an embarrassment, I'm proud to be part of that comparison. Again, Coach Wilson will jump in with me. Hey, we're not Vandy no more. That's my cheer for this year.
For 1 year.
Go ahead, Coach.
For 1 year.
I caught that.
Y'all can string together 2 or 3. You can say that, but just
right now I'm still living in last year. It's not August yet, but Coach, anything else you got to finish up? Any more fun? I know the bass tournament. That's it for right now, correct?
Yeah, and a lot of people could, like Howard said, you can expect to be getting 20 for 20 letters. And any little bit helps. If you want to mail back $5, I mean, every little dollar helps with us providing our athletes with new equipment and even, protein. Not everybody has the money to buy milk every day, and we're trying to provide little Debbie's and stuff and protein for free to the kids. So every little bit goes back. I promise you, goes right back into those players and those student athletes. So if it's just send back $5, we'll take it just because it says 20 on there. I know there's some spots to put any amount you want. You can put $5. It doesn't matter. Like I said, every little bit matters to our kids, and we're going to put it right back into them. And look forward to seeing everybody, hopefully, that fishes at the fishing tournament, and then on into buying go cards and then Wing Fest. So help us out as much as you can, because we need a lot of money. We got a lot going on. Football field will look different. I would tell you what we're doing different at the football field, but I'd rather you just show up and see it. There's going to be multiple things that's going to look different up there at our stadium this year. So all the fans show up and see it. We got season passes and stuff that can be bought. I think we have a limited amount, but just reach out to Josh Turner on that as well. And then if you want to, last thing, if you want to sponsor, I guess I can tell you part of it then now. But we're getting a scoreboard, big old Jumbotron. So if anybody, we're not doing field signs anymore. So if anybody's interested in sponsoring, it's a really big board. I forgot the size of it, but it's same size as their big scoreboard now, just on top of that scoreboard. So it's big. If you want to be a sponsor on that, please reach out to Josh Turner as well. He'll hook you up. Any business that wants to be a part of it. So
absolutely, that is a nice amenity to add to the stadium too.
Oh yeah.
Randy, before you close this out, not only is the Wing Fest good for the football program, but it's also, you got the softball that's going to be setting something up. The band's probably going to set something up. The baseball team. It's for the whole sports.
It's the whole school, yeah, and all the athletics. Yeah, it helps out all athletics, band, cross country. I think everybody tries to get in on it and set up there to make money. So it's a big deal for all of our sports. I know football makes money on it, but all the sports, when you show up and you eat wings and you go through and you buy things from them, every sport benefits from it. So it's a huge deal to our school. So.
One of my favorite things is to watch the little football players get introduced out there, and just watch them run out there, and it'll bless your heart to see the enthusiasm a fourth grader will have out there in a uniform. So I do just enjoy setting up in the stands and watching that. So, all right, everybody. Thank you. We'll be back. We'll probably come back one more time in about a month with Coach Vann. We're going to try to let him have some time with his lovely wife and his new son. And me and Harry will be on here talking wrestling later on tonight and probably getting in trouble. But Coach Vann, thank you for joining us again always. And I can't tell you how much I look forward to this journey this year. It really becomes something special to me last year when week to week we talk about the games.
Oh, yeah, we're excited. I know the kids like it. The community likes it. So we're excited about this year, and hopefully we'll continue to work hard so we can do something special this year. Don't mean we will, but it'll take a lot of hard work and a lot of details to get it done. So.
And Howie Cheney, we're planning on having you on the air at least some when it's not on local radio, here on the YouTube and on the Facebook page, at least where somebody away from the football field, somebody out of town or something can hear your feed of the football game. That's the plan right now. Are you excited about that opportunity, Howie?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you get a chance to work with John Seals, you got to be excited.
I was say that. I'm going to keep my role here, Coach. I'm not going to put John on here, so I'm going to stay. You're stuck with me. For Howie Cheney, for our long lost brother John Seals, for Coach Tyler Vann, I'm Randall Cunningham. We'll see you on the Tyler Vann Show.